Do you ever just get so exhausted on your health journey, like with other people? Because I noticed that, like, one of the biggest values that I have is health, okay? I know this about myself. And I know that not a lot of people are like me. I know that they don't have that same value, or to the same degree that I have it. Like, growing up in the household that I did, it was very normal to hear about how, you know, oh, this hurts all the time. I can't sleep. Um, I'm so sad and depressed and anxious and like there was just constant illnesses, like just nonstop, okay? And I remember like how much it stood out to me that I never wanted that. And it just, I don't know, it was never a conscious thought. It was literally just always, so why don't you do something about it? Why don't you stop contributing to your own problems? And that's not to say that that people are going to be doing everything perfectly, or, that there aren't circumstances and real hurdles to get around. Like, I'm not talking, I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking about, like, just make better decisions. Make a tiny little decision that makes a difference for the better. I've noticed that, like, especially with my mental health, my emotional health, I was in therapy for probably, like, consistently for about 2 years. And then after that, I started to slack off a little bit, mostly because I was, like, actively done with the work. And, like, by that, I mean, like, with the professional. Because by then, I had, like, a really solid foundation where I could just implement things into my everyday life. And so what I moved to was more of, like, a group accountability type of situation instead. And that was really good. That's, that's been harder to, like, coordinate lately, but it's still something that I do. And because it's so important to me, I keep up with it on my own. When I tell you I fight for every single health win that I have. So, like, with, healthy emotions and mental, like, perceptions and things like that, like, and because I'm not perfect either, right? Like, I mean, obviously, I mess up all the time. I do unhealthy things all the time, knowingly. And it's just, it's part of a pattern. It's part of a pattern. I grew up like this. It's something that, like, you have to fight it every single day in every single decision that you make, right? And I do. Like, more often than not, I start to get into, like, the unhealthy pattern, the unhealthy coping mechanism, the unhealthy thought process, lean into the emotions that are, like, chaotic or whatever, and allow it to be a bad thing when it doesn't have to be. And then I actively stop myself and I go, okay, what's a more helpful way of thinking about this? Okay, what kind of automatic negative thoughts am I having? Okay, what is a different way of handling this that's healthier? Like, just, I actively do that every day. Every single day. It is a conscious decision that I choose something better for myself every day. And given my health conditions, my body is wildly sensitive to things. I can't just exercise. Like, I physically cannot every single day get up and go to the gym. But do I try to do, like, physical stuff every now and then whenever, like, my body can tolerate it? Yeah, I do. And especially being pregnant, it's harder. But I do. I try. I do light stuff where I can. I will have a day where, like, I'll do, I'm a personal trainer, so, like, I try to adjust it to whatever my tolerance level is. I can't really take supplements because, again, my body is really sensitive. But you know what I do? I fight every single day to take what I can anyway. So the days that I'm having a good day and I can tolerate stuff, I will slowly sneak stuff in. And the days that I can't, well, I just try to make better food choices that day. It's just in every single thing that I do, it's so important to me. It's so important to me. And I guess I'm so exhausted with people that are not like this. It reminds me of the household that I grew up in, where people will sit and complain and go, oh, I feel really bad, or, I'm just so stressed, or I just can't sleep, I can't, they're constantly repeating toxic cycles over and over again in, their relationships or friendships, or, it's just constant, you can see the evidence of their choices in their everyday life. And instead of doing anything about it, they just say, oh, well, I can't for XYZ reason, or, they make up excuses. There's just so many excuses for it's too hard, I can't do it. And, I'm a coach, okay? Part of my training was to go through this whole, it's motivational interviewing is what it's called. I have to figure out what stage people are at in, the stage of change, if they want to change, how resilient they are to change, how resistant, all this other stuff. There's stages to it. And so, I get it. I get it. A lot of people are not where they say that they actually are. I'm just so frustrated because it's really hard to find people who actually want to do stuff about their life. And it's hard. It's hard. This is my new stage of growth at this point, especially being pregnant, right? It's just really draining on my energy. I don't have the capacity that I used to. Everything is demanding, especially with my health conditions. I have to put so much more effort into being conscious about the things that I can or cannot do, and all this other stuff, because I have to grow a whole human. And I'm so grateful for that. And it's getting harder. It's getting harder and harder. My dogs are going to start attacking each other, and you're going to hear them in the background. Because I'm in the stage of pregnancy where I freeze to death one minute, and then I come outside and, hell, because outside is hell right now. And then I start having hot flashes within 5 minutes. So, until I completely defrost and start hot flashing, I'm not going inside. But anyway, I get so tired of hearing people bitch and complain about their circumstances and things that they absolutely have control over. And this is something that I have to work on myself. That's what I was getting back to. I have a really hard time watching people suffer from things that they know that they can control, and they just don't want to do anything about it. Sometimes they don't have the capacity to. And even then, they probably could find the capacity if they actually really wanted to. Because I've been there. I've been through a lot, okay? I have, and that's where I need to find grace, right? That's where my empathy and my work needs to come in. And my boundaries. I need to work on my emotional boundaries with this, because there's so many times that I'm just just do the thing. Why do you not want to do the thing? To pour into yourself to be better? Why do you not want to feel better? Why do you not want to have better relationships? Why do you not want to have a better life? Why do you not want to do that? Yes, it's gonna suck at first. Yes, it's gonna be hard. Yes, you're gonna have to commit to it for a long period of time. Why don't you want to do it? Because it's better than being in the same spot that you're in 5 years from now, instead of being so far ahead in progress if you just chose to put in the work. And it's so funny because being on the other side, I guess you could say, being over the bulk of the work is what I mean, because I still have a lot of work to do. It's not like that, I'm not like healed and perfect, whatever. It's more just like now that I'm over a lot of the worst of it, I can just kind of, I guess, look back and go like, I was so scared. I was so scared to embrace like healthy and peace and softness and like a different life. I was so scared of those things because I didn't know anything else other than like chaos and stress and, all the opposite things. And now I'm like, honestly, it's still the same kind of like excitement. It's still the same kind of addictive feeling, just with a different target, with a different outlet. It's still really hard to have hard, honest conversations. It's still really hard to be vulnerable with people. It's still really hard to control myself whenever I want to crash out, but I have to breathe through my emotions and talk to someone like an adult and see where they're coming from. And not just see where they're coming from and like punish myself, by dismissing my own needs and wants, but by, hearing them out and going, okay, this is valid. Now let's have an adult conversation and work together like a team. That takes a lot of work and effort and a lot of like that stimulation that I would get from toxic situations that kept me on the roller coaster ride, because that gets really addicting and fun. It's also really addicting and fun to have hard conversations, to do the hard thing, to make the hard choice. It's just different. It just looks different. It plays out a little differently. I don't know, I just needed to vent. And maybe someone can relate to me. And that would make me feel a lot better. Because on one hand, like, I know that I'm being an impatient jerk. Like, because I was there. And, it's hard. It's not always, you don't always see the way out, is what I guess I should say. And I didn't exactly have like great examples around me of like how to get out of it. I had to go digging for that. I had to want it more than anything. I had to find free resources. I had to like dig for it. I had to work. And if I can do it, I know that other people can do it. I just don't want to. And I'm praying that I find my people that are ready and that want to and that are doing the work to push themselves and will push me to do more of my own work, because if I had more accountability and more people around me who were also in this, I would probably not be having this emotional burnout that I'm having right now. Because the way that I don't have the capacity for almost anyone these days is probably not good. Probably not healthy. Anyway, I'm starting to get the hot flash now, so bye.